All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Taiko World Cup 2026. It is the round of 16. I'm your commentator, Beat43210, and today we have an exciting matchup between Japan, the number 1 seed, and taking on Australia, the 11th seed, in the round of 16. Joining me today is none other than a good old friend, Yagen. Yagen, how you doing today?
I'm doing quite nice, especially I'm surprisingly quite hyped between a Japan match because Japan is not a weak team. Of course, it's the best team ever, but the Australia team is also not weak, and I would say it's actually one of the strongest opponents they've ever faced in the round of 16 stage since a long time.
Yeah. It is a little bit interesting to see Australia, who is highly, it's not traditionally the 16th slot that you would normally see Japan facing on. But with the whole format changes and the groups that we've had last week, Australia got the short end of the round of 16 stick amongst the winners and is facing Japan. So to see Japan take on a notable opponent this early in the competition, who knows what may befall upon us today. And did Australia just roll a 1?
They roll a 5 and then roll a 1, but either way, they are losing the roll. They are a really strong team. I honestly think 11C is kind of underseeded for them, especially the qualifiers are very based on consistency, and they only have particularly 2 players. I don't think the other 2 is going to play whatsoever. So
spoiler alert,
a 2-player team. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're most likely a 2-player team. They're going to be betting on DT2. I think it's a very makes sense choice here. The speed quite high in terms of DP and map, and also a lot of off-beat maintain. So you need a lot of finger control as well on double time. So not surprised to see Australia banning it, because it's one of the few maps that even if you miss, you can still win. And Japan is very likely to win in terms of accuracy with absence of Australia's strong double time players this year.
Ah, yes. Gotta love it when you start off with your first cool bug fact, banning No Mod 1. No Mod 1 is a bug, everybody. That's the lore. Officially in place. So
second No Mod 1 ever being banned in this week, so it looks like the consistency map is not what players want to play absolutely, and they're gonna go up to buy now, our first also original of the year in Taiko World Cup, and Japan is absolutely going for buy now.
100%. So, Australia going to be facing Japan on the technical pick. Brand new, exciting map. And song as well. All that coming out with an Osu original for this pick. Buy now. And no, we're not talking about the banners in this one. We're talking about the song. You should buy that too, but yeah, 100%. Buy the banners. We gotta put the advertisement in real quick. Right before we get started.
If you manage to buy the winning team, which is most likely Japan, and you able to keep your banner for a whole year with a $2.5, so very cheap. If you want to buy a banner right now, buy now. Do it very quickly. Or if you want to support Australia currently, because they absolutely need your support to even able to make this match close, because Japan is an absolute beast of a team with Kanten and Kantu, 2 players who have been winning tournaments, Kantu winning Nightmare Taiko Frontier, and Kanten getting second place on Explode Global Taiko Showdown. 2 extremely high skill cap players taking on a low star map pool up against Jai and Frostetic.
Yeah, it's gonna be a banger. It is only 2 minutes long, so if you blink, you can miss it. But so far, Australia off with the double S lead by both players, as Cantu is the first player in the lobby to pick up 100s, and it is not just one 100, it is at least 2. But Jay trades it back, and it's even.
do surprised to see Japan's first pick being a normal pick here, especially I would say the normal pick of this weekend is not too hard just yet, especially this one kind of plays similar to your old times no one. They're a bit of a 1-4-1-6 and especially the last one is quite hard, but one break like that from content could definitely swing the lead. Australia is now in the driver's seat here. They have a huge lead and they see on the break. They are definitely very happy. Welcome for this early misses from Kantan.
This is a very questionable start for Japan, as Kantan picks up the first break in the map. Australia sees they're out in front, and they got some good accuracy to score to go with it. With only about 30 seconds to go, Australia is out in the front, having to lock in on the first point against Japan on their pick, by the way. This is a break point, potentially, to kick off this round of 16 match.
Like I mentioned, no mod pick is quite a surprising pick from Japan, especially most no mod in this pool is still one miss to lose. We still have the final seconds where there's the hardest snappings. They do have to hold on, but Australia is known for good attack. Final part of the map, 19,000 points difference. There's a bit of an accuracy drop, but I do believe Australia just holds it. And Japan, first point of the tournament, it's gonna bleed out for 1 point to Australia with unfortunate misses here from Count1007, and 1 point just give it away to Australia. That's why buy your banners. If you do want to support Australia, they need all your banner support by now.
Cool bug fact coming from Jay, straight from the source. We weren't supposed to win that one. But Australia does indeed 15 100s against, by Jay, 10 100s from Frost Static. Can 2 getting 4, topping the lobby, but that one major drop by Kantan was enough to shift it entirely. And Australia up at breakpoint, up 1-0. Can't ask for a better start. It is not a sweep. We did say that facing 11th seed in the round of 16 was always going to be a bit of an interesting spark, but we didn't expect the spark to kick off so soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned, this is the best team that Japan has ever faced in round 16 weekend, where the map is still on the easier side, so they have to be careful about some of these picks here. Australia picking a Hard Rock 2, not something that we expected, but seemingly like they are trying to going up against the Count-10, Count-2 combo once again, especially Hard Rock 2, not Jai's strong point, but this 8-10 Hard Rock 2 is not that fast just yet. I can still see Jai able to perform in this map.
Yeah, Hard Rock 2. This is gonna be a good choice from the Australian side as we go to the speedy reading Hard Rock map. OC World Cup 2023 original song as well. Neat little bonus to go with it.
Seemingly Kan2 is going to be swapping out to Sashika. Also a pretty fast Raider here, but once again Japan kind of can just swap all their players around and able to play this pool quite a bit. We do have Kan10 staying in strong, an extremely fast player. Once again, this week's Hard Rock 2 is not that fast yet, only at a tapping around 210 BPM. That's a bit of a weird patterning because you see the mapper always use cast pool. Maps are not the most comfy. They do have some weird looking patterns, and with Hard Rock 2 slow speed here, it could definitely trip up players. Frosthetic is not really known as a Hard Rock 2 player as well, but recently he has been training that skill set. And he's getting really comfortable at this growth speed. Going up against Japan, ready in, and they need all the almighty power to be able to score another point up against Japan.
Yeah, and it's just going to be a couple of minutes until we get this next map started. For the uninitiated, Japan is one of the strongest teams that we've seen in Taiko. They've had one of the longest streaks in the World Cup scene. 12, actually, I think they're chasing their 13th year or 12th. It's one or the other. They've been on such a dominant streak for so long that usually around the 16 upset like that is a bit of a shock.
I believe it's 13 as a
13.
First time they see this lose, I think it's 2014. So 2015, they do have the Tatsuke lineup where at start to get into taiko. I mean, crush that performances, but they have to crack another performance to win this match because currently Content not starting with the best accuracy, so the Shy here coming down to 3 and 4 100s.
Good start by both teams. Everybody narrowing in on the notes as Prosthetic and Sachi continues to hold a double S. Jay, a little bit behind at 99%. Trying to chase down Kantan, who's also had a few 100s to start off the map, but this is a long map with a very tough battle ahead. All eyes are... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say both no 100s being dropped here outside the early sessions here from the Japanese team. We got a couple of 100s here dropped by Jai and Prosthetic. It's gonna be making Japan around 7,000 point lead, so quite comfy lead in the sense of this pool. And if there's one break, it definitely could have swing to each other side.
Those continue to roll through. Pressure continues to mount as all 4 players maintain the double S. Japan only ahead by about 8,000 points, which is not a lot.
Sashika did drop his double S, dropping his score below Prosthetic. But still, accuracy from Jai just slightly bit lower than everyone else on the board, and that's the decider of this map. And like I mentioned, this pool is still quite a bit on the easier side. One singular break could have been game over. There's no mistakes from both sides, and 1-6 as well. Both teams should be able to hit all these patterns comfortably as long as no lag or nerves issue. They are definitely fine on this map. Final part of the map, I do believe Japan should be able to take this point.
Yeah, and it looks like Japan is on track to defend it after getting a shock opener loss against them. They snatch it right back, beating Australia by a very thin margin of 7,000 points. Yeah, Jay had a bit of an unfortunate start, picking up a lot of 100s very early on, and Japan just never let up afterwards.
The other caster said, Rookie of the Year, Prosthetic, beats out both Japanese player. And oh my god, oh my goodness, you know the potential of this player in this pool. Sashika Kanten slightly behind Prosthetic, but it's all because of Jai's 100 dropping below both the Japanese players combined. But this is a nail-biter of a match. Any tiny mistakes in this pool could be over. And of course, Japan going from one of the hardest maps in the entire pool, 3-mod to Tenchi Koyaku has been selected.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I couldn't see A or O.
Yeah. This map a bit of an interesting one in the pool. For those who may have watched the showcase and just suddenly tuned into this match, 3-mod 2 was actually something completely different. But a couple of ongoing interesting things happening behind the scenes. We've had to get this map swapped out with a few days' notice. So, relative to the rest of the pool, this map hasn't had a lot of time to cook, so to speak. Will that play a role in the mod choices of these players? We'll see.
I do believe this is the best Japanese pick. I think a no mod pick on the side is quite weird. Maybe they think no mod 2 is quite a difficult map. Once your players are too good, you think like, oh, everything's just easy in this pool. But this is definitely one of the hardest pick of the entire pool. Very fast in terms of scroll speed, especially in the final chorus of the map, and it really speeds up in terms of scroll speed. And when you talk about hard maps in general, Japan with a 2 HGHR from Sarim and Shamir and MCK are definitely given. And Jai may be able to put on a double mod if he prepared, and so does Prosthetic. These two players are also your known pool grinders. However, is your accuracy able to compete against the players in Japan? It's another story, and especially this weekend Hidden Hard Rock, this free mod especially focus more on the Hard Rock ability. So, and I do believe Australia is slightly bit weaker on the Hard Rock ability over here. So maybe a bit of an accuracy drop from Jai and Prosthetic is going to be a slightly bit more common against Sarim and Shamarin. To see how Japan comfy about this pick, because one miss may not be able to determine the difference, but two miss would definitely able to determine the difference, and this map is not kind to your misses and and combos.
All right, let's see. What do we got? Both Japan and Australia going with Hidden Hard Rock. Not surprising given how confident we've seen Japan and Australia play Hard Rock 2. One of the fastest scroll reading maps in the pool. And everybody nailed it for the most part. So throw in Hidden into the mix, and none of these players are phased in the slightest. As Kantan steps out, Shamarin MZK steps up for the Japanese roster.
Because Sarin himself, Sashika, Sarin, another very fast growth speed player, especially when it comes to Hidden. This is definitely what he plays all the time. However, some of the 1-4 swaps might be a bit shaky here for Japan. And aside of the map, they're actually behind in terms of accuracy because of Shaman's accuracy and Prosthetic. He's holding a double F in this map, and holding a double F in any certain amount of time in this map is impactful. Especially the start of the map is on a non-timeable note. It's all based on eyes, and Prosthetic is able to hold on FS, carrying Giant on his back currently. 3,000 points in the lead, but 3,000 points is as crucial as you can be on a free mod pick.
Yeah. Prosthetic, one of the interesting players to join the World Cup scene this year. First appearance, by the way. And he is facing one of the strongest teams, Japan, and is holding a double S for the first half of Free Mod 2. A very tough performance as Australia tries to take the charge to what could potentially be 3 breakpoints in a row. But it is an incredibly thin margin that Australia has. 7,000 points going into the second half of the song here. And it is anyone's game.
Bit of a one-threat there, making everyone dropping accuracies down by quite a bit. Prosthetic drop a bit as well, slowly back down to the area where Sarim and Shamaran is, but slowly Jai is also recovering as good as Prosthetic. It's a two-man team game here for Australia. We talk about this team. Jai waited for 10 years and they finally got a companion who is as good as him, and they are crushing the victory against Japan. But Japan is now bringing back in the fast growth speed sessions. It all comes down to the fast growth speed as Jai dropping 5th for 100 counts, as now Japan is in the lead in the slowdown sessions. But it's not over just yet. We have one final part and it could be a decider in the fast growth speed and the lock ki.
Yeah, and Australia is trying to claw it back in the final sections, but Jay picks up a shot miss, and that's going to settle it. Japan clears the finale of the song here to defend this pick very closely. Very unfortunate miss. Misplaced section that you just misread, and all of a sudden the hype falls apart entirely, which is really unfortunate too, because Prosthetic actually scored exactly the same as Shamarin MZK.
You can see, like I mentioned, this map, fast growth speed sections are just pain to players who are not the best at fast growth speed, and Jai is not a player I would associate fast growth speed with. Dropping down below in terms of accuracy in the final second half of sessions. Let's make a point up against Japan. However, like I mentioned, I think this is the most clear Japan pick of the pool, and they only win by slight margin. And
yeah,
Australia going up against No Mark 4, and hopefully able to charge a point up against Japan in the practice pick of the pool, mapped by Norsomo. And you know this guy, you know he maps a lot of SV, a lot of gimmicky stuff.
Yeah. Australia looking to charge up a second point on their side of the board, picking Nomod 4. Now this is the gimmick map in the poll. 2 minutes and 20 seconds of just wonderful note manipulation. You gotta love it.
Now, this is a type of a map that we're gonna see Mania player CLC. We usually see CLC, and then Team Crazy, he's an extremely good Mania player. Dropping to Taiko Yomogi, the practice player, swapping in this pick. And he was very good at the earlier stage pools in another tournament, community tournaments like Taiko Frontier, actually able to beat up some of the best players in the qualifier seeding, which is a 7-star map pool. So talking about consistency here, Yomogi is definitely one of the best player for the Japanese team. Pairing up with Shamaran also picking up his nerves quite a bit since his first entrance here in the 2024 Taiko World Cup. This pair of team is also a high practice player team here from Japan. We don't have the great T Ekumiya power anymore, which practice your map pool 10 times per day, but they still have a very strong lineup in terms of these practice heavy maps. Run up against the two grinders of the Australia, and Australia take a point and charge up a point against Japan. Only time will tell what happens in the chat as we are into the Vitality Charger.
Alright. They are going to get started in a few moments here. This is a big opportunity for Australia. I know that both Jay and Prosthetic did do quite a fair preparation on this. I'm curious to see if Japan can keep up. Japan historically is good with gimmicks, but we have seen some shocks before. Will we see it once again in this no-mod pick?
A bit of a technical stuff for the entire map, and sometimes when you get those technical parts of the map, it's easier to misread and find a mess. However, like I mentioned, these two players on the board are just heavy practices from the Japanese team as well, so it's all come down to nerves. Yomogi not only have an experience in Taiko tournaments, have the experience from other modes from Mania, so used to deal with these kind of nerves holding a double S right now, but he does find a break instantly. Australia, oh my god, they are slowly locking in 6,000 points in the lead.
I did say be prepared for some exciting shocks, and shocks we did see out the gate. Yomogi getting a very unfortunate welcoming to the lobby. Notes are very hard to hit sometimes, and that has given Australia a bit of a start. Jay has broken back. So, momentum going to be resetting a little bit here.
Do you believe Japan's gonna take back the lead because of how early breaks from Yomogi is? He's keeping his accuracy up as strong as ever. Shaman as well also beating off Prosthetic in this current situation, but Yomogi finding a second miss. One miss you can recover, but two miss may be just crucial to your team score. And in the slow sessions, Australia can build back up this lead as Jai almost built up back to a combo cap. 10,000 points difference, the biggest lead ever we have seen in the entire match, and Australia could just take the second point.
And what's even crazy is that Yomogi is making some incredibly fast recoveries too. Sometimes on these gimmick maps, you can pick up 5-10 misses back to back really quickly. But even Yomogi, when he drops the miss, picks it back up and continues running with it, giving Australia only the thinnest of margins to work with. But that 20,000 points that Australia currently has is currently enough, and it's rising even more. As Yomogi
Another break! He's
breaks
losing
repeatedly. Yep, he's getting deceived by the notes. Australia is charging up that vitality for that second point. And Japan, with very few notes left, has to concede that this map has been a fatality for their chances.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have only seen Japan lose 2 points up against Korea, but Australia is giving Japan a run for their money. It's 5-2, it's 2-2. It might be a 5-2 later on, but they have to be careful about some of these no-mod picks.
Yeah, this is a exciting chain of events. Shammer and MZK and Prosthetic, the only two players with full combos, 3 and 4 100s respectively. Jay also getting 3 100s to his credit, but does pick up that one miss. And it is an exciting chain of developments as suddenly this pool gets very serious for both of these teams very quickly. Where do you go as Japan? You've played Hard Rock, you've played Nomon, you've played Fremont. It's not like there's just a very easy mod that you can exploit. Australia's been competitive on 3 out of the 5 mods tested.
I think it's definitely the second half of the pool, where one miss is less because of the higher overall difficulty requirements. One miss is a less damage to your overall team score. I think Hard Rock 1, D2, and Fremont 1 should be the pick here for Japan. I do believe they should completely avoid all the normal picks. Hidden 2 is pickable, but it's another one of those knock-lock maps that I'm pretty sure Japan's kinda scared to go for it. So I think they just go for the rest of the Hard Rock, DT, and Fremont, and of course, one for Hard Rock 1.
Hard Rock 1 getting selected by Japan. Skywired Beatscape. Now, this Hard Rock, compared to Hard Rock 2, is a little bit easier on the reading front. Not as fast of the scroll speed, but does have some technical patterns to put up with.
Yeah, this match, I think, has been kinda, like I mentioned, 50-50, especially on the normal pools, but this is one of the few maps I don't think it's a 50-50, absolutely. Japan just clear advantage in terms of higher scroll speed, higher overall difficulty maps, where Australia may have a bit of a harder time to keep up in terms of accuracy, but again, one miss is possible. But this is one of the few maps that I would say one miss is the least damage to your overall team score. If you have content dropping in one more time for the Hard Rock map, especially, this is his playground. Hard Rock, technical, not super fast. He's extremely good at these kind of maps, and Shamarin will not pair him up against like a Hard Rock player, absolutely. However, he's definitely a very technical player, and if their players are not feeling comfortable or not practices enough, he can definitely make a shot up against Australia.
All right. Here we go. The action getting underway. The momentum up in the air for both of these teams. Japan did barely edge out against Australia in Hard Rock 2, but will we see a similar feat in Hard Rock 1?
I think the 1-6 here are not too benefit to Prosthetic. He has been the one who is keeping up against Japan, but this might be one of the few maps I would not associate his strong point with. These are like tame BPM, like an average BPM. Slowish average BPM map with 1-6 burst. He might drop a bit more accuracy compared to Jai in this case, which you can see he's a bit below compared to everyone else on the board, and it's crazy that you need to hold against 2 100s or 1 100 to keep up the competition in this room.
It's a tough battlefield. There are no slouches on either of these teams, and it shows just with how close the scores have been. Halfway through the song, Japan has a very small score lead, but it's not even 10,000 points. A miss can change everything, and we've seen that time and time again in this match. And we may see some more from Jay as he picks up a few 100s in a row, but does stabilize it.
That's definitely a nerf 100s here from Jay. Completely on nothing burger session. And in a tough matchup like this, it's so crucial. We did see Shamarin time a bit wrong as well on the offbeats here, dropping his accuracy down below Shay, but we do have content, like I mentioned, the best Hard Rock tech player in the entire world, holding up a 99.83 in this pick, not faced by the difficulty of these 1/3, 1/6, and 1/8, and absolutely crushing the competition here, and Prosthetic down below everyone else, and this might just be the 3rd point from Japan. Hopefully they can break away from this.
Yeah, Japan having to fight tooth and nail for that victory 9 100s from the Japanese side compared to 19 from Australia. A very close result. And that may give Japan a bit of breathing room for a little bit of time. But Australia is still looking fresh, still looking good as they try to chase down a record potential third point from Japan. There's not that many teams that can... I'm pretty sure there's not that many teams that can proudly say they've taken 3 points against Japan. You know, usually when people think about that sort of question, you say to yourself, okay, well, South Korea's maybe done it before. Taiwan's definitely done it before. And
we talk about 3 points.
Yeah, 3 points.
We need
3
to.
points.
We need to go back.
We need to go back.
We need to go back to 5 years ago, where it's still 2 versus 2, where we can actually see Japan lose more than 2 points. I don't think Japan had lose ever more than 2 points clean sweeping in, I do believe, 2024 or 2025, losing 2 points the entire tournament in like the last 2 years, and that might just be the first time they lose more than 2 points, or if they do so. And of course, Australia taking their bread and butter, going for raindrop.
Nice. Banger song, banger map, and potentially a firepower opportunity for the Australian team as they try to hone in on Hidden. Han, who has been picking around the pool a little bit, hasn't touched Hidden. Maybe this might be, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe Japan may not be as confident. Who knows? We're going to see it. Australia definitely going to challenge him on it now.
I think it's definitely the type of map that you find, it's easy to find one miss. I mean, more than one miss even. And usually I would associate these type of maps with Yomogi, but I think Yomogi might just be a bit too nervous in this match, especially I don't think they expect a 50-50 matchup up against Australia, and especially in round 16, and I just asked Yomogi to come in to play a map instantly. It could be drop a lot of misses. There's a lot of semi-fast sessions in this map. I would not call this map a slow Hidden. It's more like a rhythm Hidden. And in a sense that I think this actually plays similar to Hidden 2. You win this map, you will also win Hidden 2. Unless you nuke lock or just like get unlucky misses here. A lot of offbeats, a lot of SV changes. You need to be very, very used to the song to be able to play maps like this. And Giant Prosthetic, these two players are your hidden players. Soda Sarim and Kantu. Four very strong Hidden players up against each other, but definitely call Hidden the main skill set here for Australia.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to stay in tune to the song. There are quite a few slow sections, and if you're not paying attention or ghost tapping, which is what some of these players are doing, you can pick up some very unfortunate misses. Jay picking the first miss in the lobby. I don't know if that was just ghost tapping one note a little too long, but it has happened, giving Japan a little bit of the score lead for now. There are a lot of nerves riding on this from both sides.
If you can hear, why do we hear like extra notes being tapped? Because Kantu is keep tapping in between patterns to just hopefully hold on to the accuracies and the combo of this map. This is a strat that I have been seeing a lot of players saying that they work on this pick because of a lot of these snapping changes, and Kantu is doing absolutely, he could trying his hardest ever to keep his accuracy because he know 1/100 could cause out a map into the slow section, and this is a painful for a lot of these players if they are not used to slow SP, and just like that, Kantu finds a miss, and he missed in the middle, and that means Australia can come back from this!
Because I think he missed on a finisher as well. That's extra devastating too, because finisher points are worth a lot more compared to regular standard notes, and that's why Australia is already back in front before Can even gets to 100 combo. But Prosthetic, no! He picks up a big shock! And now Australia back under the ropes. As Sarin, the only player remaining in the lobby with a full combo. Everyone's going from oh yes to oh no. real fast. And
yeah,
such a dramatic turnaround for Japan, who were looking to lose that point, but they've managed to lock in, barely squeezing out a victory.
absolutely devastating for Australia. And look at these accuracy. They're actually beating both Cantu and Sarim. This is the correct pick. However, sometimes execution just doesn't happen. And Prosthetic blaming me for that. I'm sorry, my guy. I did not mention the name, but you did. This is your fault, not me. But after that, it's gonna be a 4-2 in favor of Japan. And Japan still has two really good picks. Double Time 1 and Fremont 1. But seeing these performances on these maps, I think I will avoid Fremont 1. I think Double Time 1 is the best pick here for Japan if they want to go for a high accuracy maintain. Once again, no more free as well if they want to target against Jai's not the best speed play in the entire world, but no more free to me is another 50-50 map. I don't think it's a good pick here for Japan. DT1 game over. It's where I would point Japan to pick.
Yeah, I kind of think along those lines as well. We're expecting either Double Time 1 or Fremont 1 to get picked. If we see any other song, we're going to be very surprised.
Yeah, like on stream, it's not Lock Heaven, so I don't think they want to pick it. So it's all come down to no more free DT1 and Fremont 1. And I think everyone knows how painfully easy no more free could be.
Yep,
yeah, there we go. It might be a game over for Australia,
or
it could be a game start for them.
Okay, hang on. It's not game over yet, guys. It's not game over yet. As ominous as hell as it is, to try and pick the final map choice on Double Time 1, Japan cannot afford to get complacent. If Japan loses this map pick, and Australia is much more competitive than they thought, then Australia's the team that gets the final say in the pool.
Is this site readable coming from China?
Is this site readable?
Yes. Absolutely.
No, he's definitely no, he's not sight reading. He's not sight reading.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not sight reading. He has played
might
this
be
once.
The strat. It might be the strat.
It might just be the mind games, guys. It might just be the mind games. I've seen this man lobby in the game playing the song at least once.
However,
don't
get fooled by Jai.
However,
he's up against two extremely good side readers, even in tournaments. Cantu, Cantan. I've seen these two guys side read in a tournament before. They absolutely crush it. I don't think they're side reading now, and they're definitely prepared up against Australia, knowing how close this match is. There's a lot of Southern 160 in this map, and I would say those are the hardest part of the map. Rest of the map is basically your average Double Time 1 map.
Well, here we go.
Here it comes.
Good start for all the players hitting the opening section.
I like how the song goes game over in that part. It's like after you miss, you go like, oh damn, it's game over for me. However, it's not a game over for these two teams.
You know,
so far.
you miss, it's over. It's just finished. That's what the song is trying to intimidate the players by. It is a rarity. You don't really see a lot of songs that have that chanting in the background. You could argue it's a bit of a novel experience.
Absolutely. Another game over part. Nobody drops or misses. And Australia is keeping up toes to toes against Japan because Cantu's accuracy is slightly below everyone else on the board. What are we seeing, beats? And this might be another nail biter on some of those 1-6
they prepared. They did homework. They locked in. But Japan also equally refusing to give up. Halfway through the song, they are not even out in front by much. 2,000 points is nothing, guys. Do not be fooled by the results here. Kantan having a phenomenal run right now, and is the only reason why Japan's even arguably out in front. The SV speed up kicking in.
Can't do. You have to be careful about some of those 100 pounds. A bit of a stream here. Does make Jai drop a bit of 100 as well, down to Count 2's level. It's so close. It's all gonna be down to the final sections of the map where we do have another game over. Another game over patterning. And everyone sees it. It could be nervous.
Alright, Japan. It's time. We need to see it.
Here it comes. Nobody missed.
Oh, they nailed it. Nice, they nailed it. That is unfortunate for Australia. Japan clearing one of the last remaining tough patterns. But there is still the ending to get through here.
I don't think that will be causing any shock this part, and that's gonna be it. Australia giving their run for their money, but unfortunately, game over. The song is game over for Australia. Very brutal, unfortunate from Australia. Very good play here from both of their players, but you just have Kantan locking in this time, not giving up another point, just like no more 3 100s on this map, and crushing Australia. Makes them drop down to the loser bracket and beat. What have we witnessed in this match?
We've witnessed an absolute shocker. Japan, one of the best teams in the world, getting quite the distance with Australia. And Australia, despite a two-man team taking on the very best, manages to clutch 2 points off of them. It's not an easy thing to do. Definitely a very good result on the Australian front, and they can go down to losers bracket, showing everybody that they are ready for the top fight. They are ready for the chaos that will reign ahead in the following weeks, because they've managed to go toe-to-toe and spill some blood on the Japanese lineup.
Especially in no mod maps here, taking 2 points up against Japan, which is why I think no mod 2 first pick here from Japan is kind of a shocker. Like you said, beat and dropping down a point from that map. But anyway, outside of the no mod picks here, Japan just winning tiny bit in terms of their accuracy, but they have to hold consistency through the entire match, not dropping any misses on those picks, because one miss could spell disasters on a pool like this. And they will face up against Taiwan next weekend, which, oh my god, we have not seen a Japan versus Taiwan in quarterfinals, guys, for so long. It's another tough opponent for Japan. Could they hold up against Taiwan? Because they absolutely need these performances and these consistencies to able to hold against Taiwan. But once again, GG well played to Australia as well. You guys performed phenomenal as a two-player team. Taking 2 points off Japan is not something that you can brag about for many teams.
Yeah, 100%. And looking ahead to the immediate matchups coming up. Up next, South Korea takes on France. They will be kicking off in about 12 UTC, so 5 and a bit hours from now. And then following that, we got our usual 15 to 18 block worth of matches. We got Philippines, Sweden, USA, UK, Brazil, and Finland. And of course, we will have the second day worth of matches after that. So upcoming matches, have a quick look at them before we go here. And pick your favorite matches, pick your favorite times to stay up or wake up and watch the battles go down. This tournament has been shaping up to be a bit of a, different flavor to what we usually see in the taiko scene. And I think we are going to be seeing a lot more carnage in the matches ahead. And I hope you all are here for it as it plays out.
Yep, so I do believe that's going to be all from us here. I hope you enjoyed this amazing match despite we see Japan, you fall out 5-0. No, we got a very close match. Up ahead, we do have the potentially second place, Korea, up against France. So be sure to come back at 12 UTC at afternoon time for most Europeans. See you then. Goodbye.
Take care, everybody.